What a dramatic evening in politics and for the country. Of course, if you don't know already, you're joining us shortly after the resignation of the Chancellor of the Exchequer and the Education Secretary, Rishi Sunak and Sajid Javid, after a statement by the Prime Minister. Joining me now is Will Walden, who was Press Secretary to Mr Johnson when he was the Mayor of London. Good to talk to you, Will. Just give us your reaction, first of all, to the events, and I'll add on, as everyone's asking, can the Prime Minister hang on?
Evening, Dermot. I think the short answer to that is it's very difficult to see how now, having lost your Chancellor in the middle of a cost of living crisis and your Health Secretary with 4/10 of your MPs against you, and probably, frankly, after the two by-elections and the Chris Pincher affair, a fair few more, it's very difficult to see how he hangs on. He is a fighter, and he's nothing if not resolute and determined, and clearly the message is already going out that he's going nowhere, they'll have to get rid of him. But I can't see how this becomes tenable. And I think that the difficulty for Boris is that, again, it's a self-inflicted wound. They have tried, because Boris was loyal to Chris Pincher and wanted him around in February and needed him as and rewarded him for his efforts to keep him in power. He made him Deputy Chief Whip. They almost would have been better on Friday coming out and fronting that and just saying, what happened in the past happened in the past. The Prime Minister was satisfied with this. He spoke to the Ethics Committee. But what they've done instead is that whether it be the Prime Minister or whether it be the people that speak for him, they have left a situation where nothing was happening on Friday, and then something was happening over the weekend, and yes, he did know this. And again, it's just like Partygate. And then he's forced to come and apologise for a lapse in judgment. And the problem tonight is that the Prime Minister is essentially doing what he's done throughout all of the last 8 months. He's blaming others. So for Partygate, he was blaming the media for reporting it and people for listening to it. And he really, at the end of the day, wasn't that sorry about it. Tonight, he's blaming his memory.
But what about the Downing Street operation? I mean, there are parallels here, not with the allegations, but parallels all the way back, it seems, in the autumn of last year with Owen Paterson Gate, if I can call it that. In that, people were being sent out, ministers were being sent out to say things that they'd been told by Downing Street, which subsequently turned out not to be exactly true. And that really upsets people, doesn't it? And that's what it seems has led to this evening. So what about a change? What about a change of the personnel once again? How many has he had so far? 2 or 3?
Well, this is the third iteration, Dermot. I don't think that the change of personnel is going to do it now. We have a situation where cabinet ministers are resigning and presumably others are thinking about their position tonight. Now, Jacob Rees-Mogg, very loyal, he's going to say anything short of losing a vote, the Prime Minister should stay. I can't see how changing the team is going to make any difference to backbenchers or cabinet ministers. And even if the rest of the cabinet doesn't move against him, I suspect what we'll see is a change in the leadership and the constitution of the Committee of the 1922, and rather than waiting 6 months, I suspect they'll move quickly to have a vote of confidence, which at the moment I suspect the Prime Minister, even deep down, if he's being honest to himself, knows he's probably going to lose, and that is why the writing is on the wall. But I think that he will take the view that onward and upward, new Chancellor, new Health Secretary, on we go. I think the problem is that the party now, whether it be activists, whether it be members, whether it be backbench MPs, whether it now be members of cabinet and ministers, are walking in a different direction.